The dreaded RT-PCR is back. But I have to do this. I have to make sure everything is alright. But then why am I outside without a mask? That's because RT-PCR today stands for Road Test, Preload, Compression and Rebound. Now which motorcycle am I doing the road test with? Ta-da! Ladies and gentlemen, this is the all-new Apache RR310 and today we are doing a city review and I'm also going to tell you whether this fully adjustable suspension is going to make a difference in your life or not. The RR310 has gotten so much better with time. More refined, better power delivery, better looking with the updated color schemes and super fresh in its latest avatar. For this year, TVS has decided to update the motorcycle with a new program. As most of you all know, the new Apache RR310 is a part of the BTO program, which means built to order. Now this does not mean that you can build a motorcycle from ground up, but you can add packages to an existing RR310. So you've got two packages on offer, the dynamic and the race package, and the media unit that we have here has got both those packages installed. To begin things with, you've got a racing number that can be customized. It's plastered, it's going to be plastered on the windshield. You've also got a racing livery, which I think personally is a little too much for a motorcycle. You've got a brass coated chain and I will explain in detail how that makes a difference to the longevity of the chain. But the real bits are actually this. Number one, you've got racier clip-ons. Number two, you've got racier foot pegs which are slightly upswept. And the big daddy of it all is going to be the fully adjustable suspension on the front, and you also getting adjustability at the rear for both preload as well as rebound. But before we get on to the offerings, here's what you should absolutely know. The RR310 is a smashing motorcycle to ride in the city. It's such an all-rounder too. Ride it across the urban jungle on a Friday, head to the highway on a Saturday and do your thing at the racetrack on a Sunday. It's just so well-rounded. Alright, finally let's talk about the BTO bits. This is where things get interesting, this is where things get fun. Now barring the number that you have on the windshield and the racing livery, number one on the list is going to be the brass coated chain. Now brass as a metal is not ferrous in nature, which means it will not rust and corrode like steel chains do. And they should be okay in wet and damp conditions. And considering the fact that you have about 4 to 5 months of rain in India, these chains should offer longer life too. Number two is going to be the ergonomics. Now the racier clip-on as well as the foot pegs make the RR310 a little more committed, but in its standard form, the RR310 is a very versatile, very well-rounded motorcycle. Can be used in the city, can be used out on the highway, can be used on the track as well. So in that sense, it's a very well-rounded package. With the inclusion of these bits, the ergos do get a little committed. Now, if you know how to hold a motorcycle correctly, without applying too much pressure on the handlebar, you will be able to feel that this does not make as much of a difference as it should in your everyday life. Of course, things might get a little dynamic when you're out on the racetrack, but when you're in the city, it should be absolutely fine. However, I urge you to test ride before you jump on and buy a motorcycle with this package. Finally, let's talk about suspension. I'm telling you this, getting the suspension right, the feel right, can make or break your riding experience. And if you get it right, it is going to enhance your riding experience like nothing else. So now I did not play around with the preload setting. So the setting that you get from the factory, I think it is great for everyday use. But I did manage to tinker a few clicks here and there for rebound and compression on the front and rebound at the rear. I'm about 83 kilograms and the numbers that you see on the screen right now, the number of clicks that you see on the screen right now, I felt the motorcycle is performing or behaving at its absolute best. Yes, I did manage to go all soft for the front and the rear, all hard for the front and the rear. But this setting that you see on the screen right now, I think the RR310 will be able to do 90 to 95% of its everyday commute with ease. I also feel getting this done from someone who understands suspension in and out is going to make that experience a whole lot better. And I know for a fact that Kunal from Slipstream Performance in Pune does a really good job at that. So someone who understands that, if you take it to that individual and if he manages to get it right, I'm sure you're going to have a blast of a time. A couple of things that I think are missing. Number one is going to be the absence of adjustable levers, because personally every time I sit on a new motorcycle and if that motorcycle has adjustable levers, I like having a feel of where the levers are, especially for the brake. And number two is the absence of tang grips, because every time I braked on the motorcycle, no matter how far I sat away from the tang, I ended up scooting all the way to the front. Now these two changes might be small, but I think personally they are significant, and they won't even add a bomb of a price to an already existing wonderful package. Finally, to sum it up, in your life, in our lives rather, the RT-PCR should be negative, but for the RR310, the RT-PCR is absolutely positive. Thank you so much for watching the city review of this motorcycle, the TVS Apache RR310. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit the like button, do drop in a comment, share it with your friends who love this motorcycle, and if you're new to the channel, do remember to hit the subscribe button, get the notification bell ringing. My name is Varun Painter, and I will see you later. There were a couple of combinations that I tried. Of course, you have rebound and compression. It's okay. मस्त है, मस्त, डा 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 डा